If your cold email campaigns are sending fine, but replies are dead, it's probably not your copy. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the 21 things that are actively moving the needle right now. You can't just try 2 or 3 of these and hope your campaign starts getting replies. You have to try all 21 of them. Because most people are trying probably 3 of these and then wonder why their campaign is still getting no replies. The first one is super simple and it's going to save you real money at scale. Instead of buying .com domains, you're going to want to buy .info domains. As you see here on Porkbun, a .com domain will probably run you around $11 a year per domain, and that may not seem like a lot, but when it gets to scale and you're doing it for many different people, it's going to cost you in the long run. So instead of doing .com, what we've been doing, if you scroll down here to .info, as you see, it's $3 a year. Now this may seem like nothing until you realize you need 20 plus domains to send serious volume, and at that point you're probably going to be paying $220 a month just for the .com, and if you get the .info, it's probably going to be like $60 a month. And honestly, there's no performance gap between .com and .info. They virtually get the same results. For a business that needs to hit thousands of prospects a month, this is a no-brainer. Now number 2 is going to be AI keyword stacking. Now that may not seem like a big issue, but the problem is that's just how Apollo categorizes the company under the industry, but that's not how the company categorizes itself. So if you filter by industry, you're just going to end up with a huge list of noise. Now what we do instead is we use this AI to generate every keyword variation your ideal prospect might have on their profile. Then we stack all of these together and then we import this into Apollo's keyword field. If you're targeting a commercial cleaning company, for example, there's probably 15 different ways that company describes itself. But if you stack all 15 into the keyword section, your list is going to be a lot more accurate. Now number 3 is going to be lowercase subject lines. All you need is 2 to 3 words, make them lowercase, and that's literally it. Something like quick question or quick question first name, something that lowers the sales resistance. The whole goal is just to build enough curiosity that they read the preview text. And if your subject line gives the whole thing away, people who aren't immediately interested bounce before they even get to see your offer. You want to keep it short, keep it casual, and make it sound like it came from a real human being. Now number 4 is going to be scraping instead of subscribing. I see a lot of people paying Apollo directly for their leads, and this gets costly at scale. Something that we've been using recently is something called AI Arc, and if you see here, it's relatively cheap based on Apollo. So we're on the 30K a month credit plan, and 30K a month, each half a credit is worth 1 email. So you can literally have 60,000 emails or scrape 60,000 prospects for $120 a month, and it makes it way more cost effective at scale because more leads for the same budget equals more emails sent, and the more emails sent, you obviously get more replies and more booked meetings. The math is obviously super straightforward. Now number 5 is going to be leading with the offer. Now what we've seen actually working better is flipping that around, so putting the offer first and then after explaining why it's relevant to the prospect. Try flipping it to saying, if we can create 1 free UGC ad for you, would that be worth hearing more? It's the same exact email, but you have a completely different opening, but the second one gets straight to the point and straight to the value immediately. Now number 6 is going to be lookalike lists. Instead of guessing who your ICP is based on some random filters, use your actual best clients to scrape the leads. Now what I mean by lookalike companies is on AI Arc, you can essentially search up a company that is essentially the one that you're actually trying to target. So say I was trying to target companies like Nike, for example. I would type in Nike.com here, and then it would bring up tons and tons and tons of lookalike companies to Nike. So if you're trying to target a company, and instead of relying on keywords and a bunch of industry filters to kind of like just guess it out, this is going to get your scrape a lot closer and a lot tighter, and obviously a lot tighter the more qualified the replies are going to be and the more meetings that you're going to get booked in. Now number 7 is going to be the preview text strategy. Your subject line and your preview text are basically read together as one complete sentence. Most people just completely ignore the preview text and just put a random subject line that doesn't correlate to the first line at all. Instead, you could use the preview text line as another form of curiosity to get the prospect to at least open the email. And if you combine this with leading with your offer, the first 5 to 6 words are the most important part of your email. Now, number 8 is going to be case study / ICP matrix. If you've worked with clients and gotten results for them, use it. So just to give an example, let's say I signed a service business client. I was automatically just ripping for him. I would take all that data that I had from him and I would go pull up a huge list of businesses like his, and then I would start sending out thousands of emails a day because I know with confidence that I can get that client results. Now, instead of doing cold outreach to a bunch of random segments, you want to target people that look exactly like the company that you've gotten results for, that you know with 100% certainty you can deliver for. Because when it comes to the sales call, you can reference that client's results and it's going to increase the prospect's close rate by like 80%. Now, hack number 9 is going to be replacing your CTA. Get rid of all these CTAs that ask someone for more of their time or even to hop on a call. You literally literally just want them to say yes. So ask, would this be interesting, or would this be worth hearing more? And that's going to be as low friction as possible for them to reply with yes. And those two phrases reduces friction with the prospect immediately, because the prospect doesn't know if sharing more is a video, a call, or an email. And it honestly could mean anything, so it doesn't feel like a commitment to them. And when there's no commitment, people say yes and the reply rates start going up. Now, number 10 is going to be dropping the company name variable. Now, using someone's company name as a personalization might sound smart until you see how it actually looks when you read it. Like, hey, I thought this would be relevant for All Pro Cleaning Systems LLC Incorporation. Nobody talks like that, and you just sound like a spam bot. And the second that someone sees their company name automated in that way, they're going to think it's a spam bot immediately. Instead of saying company name, just literally say you. I thought this would be relevant for you. It's conversational and it just reads like a normal human being wrote the email. Now, number 11 is going to be validating every single email. Now, a lot of these platforms, when you scrape leads off them, they say they validated the emails, but what happens is you upload that into your sequencer, you start sending emails, they have a super high bounce rate, and it ends up cooking your entire infrastructure. So what you have to do instead is get something like Million Verifier or Zero Bounce to validate all your emails, so you're only sending to prospects that can actually read your email, or most likely to even reply in the first place. Number 12 is going to be PS social proof lines. At the end of every email, add a PS with one specific outcome-based proof point. You can format it in a way saying client went from bad result to good result using this same mechanism. This actually works because it's going to be super low key, and if they're in the same industry as the client, it's going to work a lot better. You don't want to lead with it, you don't want to shout about it, you just want to put it out there for them to see that you're a real human being and you can actually get results for them. Number 13 is going to be the losing frame. Instead of opening with what someone can gain from your offer, you want to open with what they're losing by not having your offer in place for them, because there's no more urgency and loss than there is with the actual opportunity, because people will move a lot faster just by protecting something that they already have rather than trying to chase a new opportunity. Say if your ICP is a commercial cleaning company burning money on salespeople without getting any results, you want to open with all the money that they're going to be losing right now, not all the meetings that they could or should be getting. Now, number 14 is going to be one variable text, because when you're testing a bunch of campaigns at once, you only want to test one different thing, not a different subject line, a different offer, and a different CTA. You only want to test one of them. How we do it first is we test different offers to see what lands. Then when we find out what offer lands, we figure out how to position it. Then we test the CTA, and then we test the subject line. It obviously takes longer to learn, but what you learn is actually actionable. Number 15 is going to be testing data sources, not just testing your copy. Before you go ahead and assume your email copy is the problem, start testing your data source instead. I had the same email, the same offer, and the same copy, and I sent it out to 5 different segments from 5 different providers, and 3 of them outperformed the others by nearly 10 times the amount. At the end of the day, the copy didn't change, but the data did. If your campaign is underperforming, I would look at exactly who you're getting the data from and how often they even refresh their data in the first place. Number 16 is going to be calling out the offer if it sounds too good. If your offer is super strong, sometimes it reads as it's too good to be true in the first place. And that skepticism ends up killing replies even though your offer was probably legitimate. The fix is start acknowledging it. I know this is a lot, but this is why it actually works. For Velocity Flow, for example, if we're starting to guarantee a certain amount of booked meetings, we start explaining all the criteria that we use to actually go and select these clients, and also why we only take on businesses that we know we can perform for. And what we've noticed is being transparent doesn't weaken the pitch, it actually strengthens it. Now, number 17 is going to be Loom follow-up videos. For your second follow-up, instead of saying just circling back, try this. Should I send you a 2-minute video showing you exactly how this works? Almost everyone is going to say yes to that because there's literally no commitment involved. All they have to do is just say yes and watch the video. But if the video is actually good, it does a significant amount of selling for you before they even hop on the call. The only downside is you're probably going to have a lot of curious leads reply yes, and they're not even ready to book in the meeting in the first place. But at the end of the day, they're still going to be your ICP. They just need more time in the sales cycle. That brings me to 18, which is going to be standalone follow-ups. You're going to want to write every follow-up email as the person never even seen the email in the first place. Because following up on my last email means nothing to someone who never even read it in the first place. So for the follow-up emails, you're going to want to write something similar, maybe position it a little bit different to get your foot in the door with the prospect, instead of saying like, oh, we're just following up, or oh, we're just circling back, because they don't know what you're talking about. Now, number 19 is going to be the 5-minute response rate. This one is super simple. When an interested response comes in, just reply within 5 minutes, because your email is going to be still fresh in their mind, and they're probably going to be still at their computer because they just replied to you 5 minutes ago. Instead of waiting, 20, 30 minutes, even an hour to reply to them, they're probably doing a different task, but you know right now that they're actually actively looking at their mailbox. So what we've done to create a super fast response time is we created a Slack channel channel, and we sent all the incoming replies to that Slack channel, so we see it instantly as soon as they come in. The window is short, use it. Now number 20, not enough people do this, they think they're too cool to do this or something, is when a warm interested reply comes in, call it. And this one is super simple. Just the moment that someone comes in, you're going to want to call them. They usually leave their email, or even on AI Arc, they give you the phone number to call them. So essentially all you're going to want to do when an interested reply comes in, you're going to want to call them. And this actually has the most benefit for us at Velocity Flow, because it's one, it shows them that you're an active human being, and two, that you're legit. Like, you're not just like some spam bot from like India or something like that trying to spam them, and you're actually a real human being. So it builds the prospect trust, and it makes the sales cycle a lot more smoother. Now number 21 is going to be the pre-call qualifier. I'm sure you're aware not every positive reply means that they're going to be turning into a booked meeting or even a closed deal. Once your volume gets high enough and you're starting to get a bunch of calls on your calendar, you're going to want to set up pre-call emails that handle all the objections before getting on the call. And you can actually tailor these to the people who have the budget. So if someone books into my calendar and sees like, oh, I don't have the budget for this, then they're going to probably cancel the call, which will save me a lot more time in the long run. But only do this if you have enough volume to do so. Don't do this if you're just getting a couple calls a week, because it honestly might be worth taking the call. So you just want to treat it like a dial. You essentially just control where you're at. Now none of these are magic on its own, but if you stack all 21 of these together, your campaigns are going to look a lot different than most emails hitting your prospect's email box right now. If you want to see this working for your business, actual campaigns built and running for you, you can click the link below to book in a free call. We're going to look at your situation and see if we can actually help you get to where you want to go. If you want to see more cold email content like this, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.